single dad delivered a baby on the subway. He had no idea she was the CEO's wife. The subway screeched as it pulled into the station. The doors sliding open with a tired metallic groan. Daniel stepped inside. His 5-year-old daughter, Lily, curled sleepily against his shoulder. She had fallen asleep halfway through their long day, her tiny arms wrapped around his neck as though he were her entire world. And in many ways he was. After losing his wife 2 years ago, Daniel had been juggling 2 jobs, fatherhood, and exhaustion that never seemed to end. The train lurched forward and Daniel settled into an empty seat. Lily's soft breaths warmed his collarbone. Around him, the evening passengers sat silently, earbuds in, heads down, lost in their own worlds. But one person stood out. A heavily pregnant woman stood a few feet away, gripping a pole with both hands. Her breathing was uneven, her face pale, and a thin sheen of sweat glistened on her forehead. Every few seconds she closed her eyes, wincing as if suppressing a wave of pain. Daniel's instincts sharpened. "Ma'am?" he asked gently. "Are you all right?" She tried to nod, but instead grabbed her belly and gasped. I think the baby's coming." Those words sliced through the quiet train like an alarm. A couple of passengers stood up but only backed away, panicked and unsure. Someone muttered, "Call 911. Another pressed the emergency intercom, but help was minutes, maybe too many minutes, away. The woman's knees buckled. Daniel lunged forward just in time, catching her before she collapsed onto the grimy floor. Lily stirred weakly on his shoulder, but Daniel didn't have time to tend to her now. "Easy, easy," he said, guiding the woman onto a bench. "What's your name?" "Maria," she whispered, shaking. Her breaths came fast and shallow. Sweat soaked her collar. She clutched his hand with surprising strength. Daniel glanced toward the front of the train. "We're stuck between stations," he muttered. Of all the times for the subway to slow down. A contraction hit her violently and Maria cried out. Daniel swallowed hard. He wasn't a doctor. He wasn't even sure what he was doing, but he knew one thing. She needed him. "Maria, look at me," he said firmly. "I'm going to help you. Just breathe with me." As the lights flickered and the train rattled through darkness, Daniel braced himself. He had no idea that the woman whose hand he held was the wife of one of the most powerful CEOs in the city. Maria's cries echoed off the subway walls as another contraction tore through her. Daniel knelt beside her, trying to steady his own shaking breath. He'd never delivered a baby before, but he had watched it happen twice with his late wife. That memory, painful yet precious, pushed him forward now. The train slowed again, jerking violently. Passengers stumbled, clutching poles and seats. Someone yelled, "Is she giving birth right here?" Another whispered, "Oh God, this can't be happening." But no one stepped closer. Fear froze them all. Daniel removed his jacket, folded it, and placed it under Maria's head. "You're doing great," he said, forcing calm into his voice. Lily was awake now, sitting quietly on the seat, her eyes wide with worry. "Daddy, is the lady hurt?" Daniel looked at his daughter. "She's okay, sweetheart. She just needs our help." Maria clutched his wrist. "Please, don't let me lose my baby. My husband. He doesn't even know I left the house." "You're not losing anything," Daniel said firmly. "You and your baby are going to be fine." Another contraction slammed into her. She screamed, pushing against every muscle in her body. Daniel checked instinctively and froze. "The baby's crowning," he blurted. A collective gasp rippled through the train. Maria sobbed. I can't." "Yes, you can," Daniel said. "Maria, listen to me. When I tell you to push, you push. When I tell you to breathe, you breathe. I'm right here." The emergency intercom crackled. "We've contacted medical services. Stay calm, help is on the way." Too late. Daniel braced himself. "Maria, push!" she screamed, her face contorting with pain and determination. Moments felt like hours as Daniel supported the tiny emerging head. "That's it. You're doing amazing," he encouraged, voice trembling. Another push. A final cry. And the baby slipped into Daniel's hands, a tiny, warm, crying miracle. The passengers gasped in awe. Someone began to cry. A young woman filmed with trembling hands. Daniel wrapped the newborn in his shirt and placed the baby on Maria's chest. "It's a girl." Maria sobbed weakly, stroking her daughter's cheek. "Thank you. Thank you." Daniel finally exhaled, his arms shaking with relief. He didn't know that emergency responders were already racing to the next station. He didn't know that the city would soon hear his name. Most importantly, the subway doors slid open at the next station with a sharp hiss. Paramedics rushed in first, pushing aside stunned passengers. Behind them, several men in black suits forced their way through, their expressions tense, scanning every face. Daniel stepped back as the medics surrounded Maria, carefully transferring her and the newborn into a stretcher. Lily tugged his sleeve, whispering, "Daddy, are we going home now?" "Soon, sweetheart," he murmured, still shaken. "We just need to make sure the baby and the lady are okay." Before he could step away, a commanding voice boomed across the platform. "Maria." Everyone turned. A tall man in a charcoal suit sprinted toward the stretcher. His hair was perfectly styled, but his face was pale with panic. Two more guards followed him, trying to control the crowd. Maria weakly lifted her head. "Adrian." The man, Adrian Kane, one of the most powerful CEOs in the state, dropped to his knees beside her. He grabbed her hand, his composure shattering. "What happened? Why were you alone? Why didn't you call me?" Her voice was hoarse. "I thought I had time. I didn't want to worry you." Adrian leaned closer, stroking her forehead. "You scared me half to death." Lily tugged Daniel's hand again. "Daddy, he looks angry." Daniel swallowed. "He's worried." "That's different." But Adrian suddenly turned, eyes locking onto Daniel with an intensity that made his heart stop. "You!" the CEO snapped, standing abruptly. "Were you the one touching my wife?" Passengers gasped. A few guards stepped forward intimidatingly. Daniel instinctively pushed Lily behind him. "I was helping," Daniel said calmly. "Your wife was going into labor." No one else stepped forward. Adrian's jaw tightened. "You delivered the baby?" "Yes," Daniel replied quietly. For a tense moment, no one breathed. Then Maria's weak voice cut through the silence. "Adrian, he saved our daughter." The CEO froze. His eyes shifted to the newborn in the medic's arms. Then back to Daniel. Slowly, almost disbelievingly, Adrian stepped closer. His expression softened, the anger draining away. "You," his voice was thick, almost breaking. "You saved the two most important people in my life." Daniel blinked, stunned. Before anyone could react, Adrian extended his hand with genuine gratitude. "Thank you. Whatever you need, anything, you just name it." The entire station fell silent. "Danielle,